Welcome to the Sent from Disneyland podcast.
Here age relives fond memories of the past.
If it's your first time joining us, welcome. On this podcast, we'll take a journey into the past and explore Disneyland and Disneyland history with mementos, snapshots, and postcards sent from Disneyland from 1955 to the present. The postcards from this episode will be viewable on Instagram at Sent from Disneyland or on my website, sentfromdisneyland.com. Today I'm starting off by thanking my patrons from patreon.com. You can join in and receive mail from my desk or from my trips to Disneyland. I'm currently working on some new patron benefits. Patrons can sign up for as little as $1 per month. Special thanks to Random Olive, the first patron to this podcast, and to the e-ticket patrons Tania, Eric Daniels, Monica Seitz Vega, Joe Gamble, Scott Booker, Russ Romano, Michael and Christina Cross, Mary Henderson, and Sheila Harry. C-ticket patrons Serious Inquiries Only, Debbie Weinstein, Jennifer Schneep, Ruby McDowell, Grace Coate, Scott Cagle, Ben and Noel Bruning, and Patty Wolin. B-ticket patron The Disney Rewind Podcast, and to the A-ticket patrons Elise Sharp, Zealot Infinity, Alexis Robles, Maggie and Henry Byers, Angelica Nablock, and the All Aboard Podcast. I am your host, your post-host Clocky, and today we have 2 postcards sent from Disneyland. The front of our first postcard has Mickey Mouse leading the Disneyland band in their white and gold uniforms down Main Street towards Town Square. On the left you can see the Emporium, a garbage can, and a mailbox, and on the right you can see the Main Street Cinema. And at the end of Main Street you can see Sleeping Beauty Castle and an omnibus coming towards the Main Street station. On the back it reads, Mickey Mouse and Disneyland Band, led by the Magic Kingdom's #1 character Mickey Mouse. The famous Disneyland band marches toward Town Square, where daily concerts and flag ceremonies have become a cherished tradition. It's postmarked August 4th, 1970, with an Anaheim cancel, and the postage stamp has been removed. I assume they visit the park on Monday, August 3rd, when park hours were from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. The weather was a high of 80 and a low of 64. It's addressed to a Mr. B. Margoley of Capitola, California. It reads, Hi, Uncle. Having lots of fun here at Disneyland. See you soon, Lucy and Mike. I recently attended a grand opening of a Salt and Straw ice cream shop and started thinking about Disneyland's ice cream offerings. The first thing that comes to mind is the Gibson Girl Ice Cream Parlor, which surprisingly did not open until March of 1997. Looking at the history of the west side of Main Street near Center Street, many food offerings were shifted or removed due to redundancies from the mid-90s until 2013. In 1997, the Carnation Ice Cream Parlor was removed, and the neighboring Blue Ribbon Bakery replaced it, offering baked goods, and offered breakfast in the morning and sandwiches the rest of the day. Carnation still sponsored the Plaza Gardens, located to the left of Sleeping Beauty Castle. The Gibson Girl, designed to include the turn-of-the-century art by Charles Dana Gibson, became the new ice cream parlor on Main Street. It has remained in the same location for the last 25 years, with some renovations. The shop's glass elephant centerpiece was moved to the Jungle Cruise queue in Adventureland. The shop was also brightened up by removing some of the darker wood paneling and adding some light, cream-colored wallpaper. For the past 25 years, the Gibson Girl has offered a consistent menu, with ice cream in waffle cones, root beer floats, and just in a plain cup. Enfield Post is taking a break from Sunday sales until the end of this month. I would suggest getting ready for the end of September and the beginning of October. I bet we see some holiday stamps pretty soon here, just in time to add some stamp flair to your outgoing winter mail. You can head over to enfieldpost.com and explore all the different vintage stamps you can use on your next card or letter. That's ENFIELDPOST on Instagram and enfieldpost.com for your wedding and vintage postage needs. Enfield Post is the official postage stamp sponsor of the Sent from Disneyland podcast. The front of our next postcard also has Mickey Mouse leading the Disneyland band in their red, black, and yellow uniforms down Main Street just past the Crystal Arcade. On the back it reads, Disneyland Band. Mickey Mouse leads the Disneyland band in a lively parade along Main Street, USA. It's postmarked June 7th, 1978, with a Van Nuys cancel and an orange eagle A U.S. postage stamp, Scott number 1735. I assume they visit the park on Monday, June 5th, when park hours were from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. The weather was a high of 74 and a low of 61. It's addressed to an E. McMurtry of Davis, California. It reads, Hi, Nana. Monday we went to Disneyland. It was so very fun. Tuesday we went to the ocean. Flying down was so much fun. Thank you for the money. It comes in handy. Bye now. Love, Jeanette. Before we grab another Disneyland ice cream, I wanted to point out the postage stamp with the letter A for its denomination. This was due to the post office raising their rates, but they didn't know what the new stamp cost was going to be, so they left the amount off, and the A would represent whatever the new letter cost would be, which ended up being 15 cents. Now, looking at more history on Disneyland and ice cream led me to the origins of the Mickey Premium Ice Cream Bar. This cold treat debuted in 1985 and originally came in 2 flavors, chocolate and vanilla. The original Mickey bar wasn't in the shape of Mickey Mouse like it is today. The bar was just a simple oval but had Mickey Mouse branding all over the package. The change in shape to Mickey Mouse happened in the early 90s. Currently you can find versions of the Mickey bars at select grocery store chains. They were introduced outside of the park for Mickey's 90th birthday, and they are slightly smaller and the exterior chocolate is different, but a good way to bring a park treat home. While at the park, it's easy to find Mickey bars at all the cold outdoor vending stands, and even some of the stores with cold snacks. This incoming postcard is sponsored by the Art Throwdown. Art Throwdown, or ATD, is an online craft hour on Instagram, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Be sure to check out Monday's ATD, which is usually hosted by paper artist Russ Romano. I've seen many amazing art projects, learned about awesome postmarks, postage stamp history, and a lot more on different episodes. It's great to stop in for an hour to watch someone craft or design something unique. Each host brings something a little different to each show. I'll list some of the regular hosts, or you can follow Russ Romano 2021 on Instagram. The front of my incoming lenticular postcard has Mickey Mouse, standing next to a drawing of Sleeping Beauty Castle. In the upper left-hand corner it reads, 2021, Disneyland Resort. It's not postmarked but has a Forever Postcard postage stamp with the round red barn, Scott number 5546. It reads, 8/21/22. Hi Clocky, I got this postcard cheap at Company D, hence the 2021. I found your podcast via Disneyholics. Had lots of fun at DCA yesterday for the World of Color dessert party. So nice to be back at the Disneyland Resort at night, since I go so often in the daytime. Thanks for the podcast, April in Burbank. Thank you so much for the postcard, April. I love going to the parks at night. I've never done the World of Color dessert package, but I have done the Fantasmic dessert package many times. It's a nice way to see the show without having to camp out a spot. I had a great time on the Disneyholics podcast. I just finished listening to their 100th episode and was featured at the end with some other friends of the show. Thanks for listening to Sent from Disneyland. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and tell your friends. It would be awesome to share your favorite episode. There are over 100 episodes to choose from. It would also help to leave a 5-star rating and comment on whatever podcast platform you use. If you'd like to support the show financially, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/SentFromDisneyland. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Sent From Disneyland, or on Twitter at Sent From Disney. For questions and comments, send me a postcard addressed to Sent From Disneyland, P.O. Box 44, Hood, California, 95639. This podcast is not affiliated with Disney, the United States Postal Service, or any post office or Disney properties. Opinions expressed on this podcast belong to its host and guests of the Sent from Disneyland podcast.